This is a part of Game of Thrones history, and this is about the White Walkers, who were an ancient race of ice human creatures who came from the north of Westeros. After remaining hidden for the thousands of years, they returned and were sought by several brothers of the Night's Watch and countless wildlings. However, most who lived south of the wall believed them to be nothing more than creatures of legend. White Walkers were thousands of years old, coming from the time before the Age of Heroes, born of powerful and magic. They were created to protect the children of the forest from the first men, who had waged war on them ever since they had arrived from Essos. However, the White Walkers eventually broke free of the children's control and became the most feared creatures in Westeros, posing a threat to anything living. 8,000 years before Robert's rebellion, the longest winter in history fell on the entire world and lasted a whole generation in the darkness and cold of the long night. The White Walkers descend upon Westeros from the far north, killing all in their path. Eventually, the people of Westeros linked against them, and in a conflict known as the Far and the War for the Dawn. Defeat the White Walkers back into the frozen far north, with help from giants and children of the forest. The wall was raised to bar their return, and the Night's Watch was founded to guard the wall and the realms of men should the mysterious threat ever rise again. Although the White Walkers have faded into legend over the countries, disturbing reports began to reach the Night's Watch. Just before the outbreak of the War of the Five Kings, the return of the White Walkers was confirmed during the great reigning undertaken by Lord Commander George Monmouth, and by attack by the White Army on the wildling settlement of Hardmont. Despite repeat pleas for support from the Night's Watch, the rest of the Seven Kingdoms have turned a blind eye to the return of the White Walkers to be purely mythological, much like giants and children of the forest, who have also faded into a legend. The objective of the legendary White Walkers was to erase the memory of the rise of men, of all existence, through the death of the Three-Eyed Crow and spend an endless winter. His goal was almost archived until his ruler, the King of the Night, was destroyed by Arya Stark in the Battle of Winterfell, ending the Great War and preventing the return of the Long Night. With the extinction of the White Walkers